Welcome back to Sunrise. It's that time of week again where I count down the top 4 stories of the week in 4 minutes. From tax reform to an internet showdown, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's start with headline number 4. Now, headline number 4 has to do with a case that just keeps getting more and more baffling. The death of the first black woman on New York's highest court this month has left both police and admirers just mystified. The body of Sheila Abdul Salam was found floating in the Hudson River on April 12th. Well, since then, police say they found no sign of foul play and suggested it could be a case of suicide. Her family and friends insist that that theory doesn't add up, calling Abdul Salam too stable to take her own life. The 65-year-old judge was a graduate of Columbia Law School and had been scheduled to speak there the week after her death. The results of an autopsy are pending. Abdul Salam is also the first female Muslim judge in the U.S. Here's headline number 3. President Donald Trump, after several rulings blocked his controversial travel ban, now says he's considering breaking up the West Coast-based Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Trump called U.S. District Judge William Orrick's preliminary injunction against his order stripping money from sanctuary cities ridiculous on Twitter. Recently, a judge issued a decision to block the president's order to withhold funding from sanctuary cities that do not cooperate with U.S. immigration officials. Trump said he would take his fight to the highest court, tweeting, "See you in the Supreme Court." But an administration appeal of the district court's decision would first go to the Ninth Circuit. And here it is, headline number 2. Internet companies are readying for a showdown with a Republican-controlled government over a policy near and dear to their hearts: net neutrality. Now, net neutrality rules enacted during the Obama administration basically prevent broadband providers from playing favorites or steering users toward or away from particular internet sites. So to put it more plainly, if I'm an internet provider, it would be against the law for me to recommend certain internet sites to my customers. The new Federal Communications Commission chairman has repeatedly called the regulations a mistake. Many internet companies are already running the Washington playbook, lobbying Congress to keep the rules, schmoozing government regulators, and signing letters of protest. In 2012, internet companies beat the entertainment industry in a fight over anti-piracy legislation after thousands of sites temporarily went dark in protest. Now, here's headline number 1. White House officials on Wednesday laid out the administration's plan for tax cuts, but with very little details. Now, this comes on the heels of President Donald Trump's 100th day in office. The administration says the plan that will cut corporate tax rates to 15% and shrink the current 7 personal income tax rates to 3, that would be 10%, 25%, and 35%. Democrats immediately seized on the plan, calling it a massive tax giveaway to millionaires, billionaires, and big corporations. Well, thank goodness for fact-checking. An AP fact-check finds that some of the White House claims about President Trump's tax plan don't hold water. For example, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says it will be the biggest tax cut and the largest tax reform in U.S. history, yet early appraisals indicate the Trump plan won't be as large as President Reagan's tax cut in 1981. Claims about tax cuts paying for themselves also fly in the face of history because no tax cut has ever been self-financing. The plan is also supposed to cut taxes for the American people, especially low and middle income families, yet the early outline suggests the wealthiest people will receive the biggest tax cuts. Well, be sure to join me next week. I'll be counting down a new list of story ideas that everyone's talking about, and we'll have more Sunrise and a look at our forecast after this break.